In the vast expanse of the galaxy, humans had long since established themselves as a formidable and technologically advanced species. Their ingenuity and adaptability had allowed them to not only survive, but thrive in the harsh conditions of space. As they ventured further into the cosmos, they encountered numerous alien civilizations, each with their own unique cultures, technologies, and ways of life. Among the many marvels that humans brought to the galactic stage, one stood out above the rest: their unparalleled expertise in spaceship repair and maintenance. Human repair stations, strategically located throughout the galaxy, became renowned for their ability to fix even the most complex and advanced alien spacecraft. At first, the alien civilizations were skeptical of the humans' claims of mechanical prowess. They had their own repair facilities and believed that their technology was far superior to anything the humans could offer. However, as word began to spread of the incredible feats performed by human mechanics, more and more alien ships started to flock to these repair stations. The reputation of human repair stations grew with each successful job. Tales of human mechanics bringing seemingly irreparable ships back to life circulated among the alien communities. Some even claimed that the humans possessed a sort of magic when it came to fixing spacecraft. Intrigued by these stories, many alien civilizations sent their best engineers and scientists to study the humans' techniques. What they discovered left them in awe. The human mechanics had an innate understanding of machinery that seemed to transcend mere technical knowledge. They could diagnose problems with uncanny accuracy and devise innovative solutions that even the most advanced alien AI could not conceive. As more and more alien ships began to frequent human repair stations, the stations themselves evolved to accommodate the diverse needs of their clientele. They expanded their facilities, hired specialists from various alien races, and incorporated advanced technologies from across the galaxy. Despite this, the core of their success remained the same: the unmatched expertise of human mechanics. The alien civilizations couldn't help but marvel at the skill and dedication of these human mechanics. They had taken a seemingly mundane task and elevated it to an art form. The humans' ability to repair and maintain spacecraft had become a symbol of their resilience and adaptability as a species. As the reputation of human repair stations continued to grow, so did their importance in the galactic community. They became more than just places to fix broken ships. They became hubs of cultural exchange and technological advancement. Alien civilizations would send their best and brightest to learn from the human mechanics, while the humans in turn would learn about the latest advancements in alien technology. The symbiotic relationship between human repair stations and alien civilizations had far-reaching consequences. It fostered a sense of unity and cooperation among the various races of the galaxy. It also elevated the status of humans, who were now seen as valuable allies and partners by even the most advanced alien societies. In the end, the success of human repair stations could be attributed to one simple fact: the unmatched expertise of human mechanics. Their skill, dedication, and ingenuity had become the stuff of legend, and their impact on the galaxy would be felt for generations to come. As more and more alien ships flocked to these stations, it became clear that the humans had truly found their niche among the stars. In the midst of the bustling activity at the human repair stations, a few mechanics stood out from the rest. These were the individuals whose reputations preceded them, the ones whose names were spoken with reverence by aliens and humans alike. They were the best of the best, the cream of the crop, and their skills were in high demand. One such mechanic was a woman named Lena. Born and raised on a small space colony on the outskirts of human territory, Lena had always been fascinated by machines. From a young age, she would spend hours tinkering with any piece of technology she could get her hands on, much to the amazement of her parents and friends. As she grew older, Lena's passion for mechanics only intensified. She would often be found in the colony's maintenance bays, working alongside the older mechanics and learning everything she could. Her natural talent and dedication did not go unnoticed, and she was soon accepted into one of the most prestigious engineering schools in human space. During her time at the school, Lena honed her skills and knowledge, learning about the latest advancements in spaceship technology. She also caught the attention of her professors, who recognized her potential and pushed her to excel. By the time she graduated, Lena was already being courted by some of the biggest repair stations in the galaxy. Another renowned mechanic was a man named Xander. Unlike Lena, Xander's path to becoming a mechanic was not a straightforward one. He had started his career as a pilot, flying cargo ships across the galaxy. However, after a particularly harrowing experience where his ship had broken down in the middle of nowhere, Xander had developed a newfound appreciation for the mechanics who had saved his life. From that moment on, Xander had dedicated himself to learning the ins and outs of spaceship repair. He had apprenticed under some of the most skilled mechanics in the business, soaking up their knowledge like a sponge. His piloting experience gave him a unique perspective on the needs of spaceship crews, and he quickly gained a reputation for being able to anticipate problems before they even occurred. Lena and Xander were just two examples of the exceptional mechanics who could be found at human repair stations. Each had their own unique background and set of skills, but they all shared a common trait: an unrelenting passion for their craft. The training and experience of these mechanics were unparalleled. They underwent rigorous apprenticeships, learning from the best in the business. They were also constantly updating their knowledge, staying on top of the latest technological advancements from across the galaxy. But it wasn't just their technical skills that set these mechanics apart. They also possessed a certain intuition, a sixth sense when it came to diagnosing and fixing problems. They could look at a malfunctioning engine and immediately know what was wrong, even if the ship's own diagnostic systems were coming up blank. This intuition was honed through years of experience, through countless hours spent elbow-deep in the guts of spaceships. It was the result of a deep understanding of the machines they worked on, an understanding that went beyond mere technical specifications. As word of these exceptional mechanics spread throughout the galaxy, demand for their services skyrocketed. Alien civilizations would specifically request Lena, Xander, or one of the other top mechanics when bringing their ships in for repair. Some would even delay much-needed repairs until a slot opened up with their mechanic of choice. For the mechanics themselves, this level of demand was both gratifying and challenging. They took pride in their work and the reputation they had built, but they also knew that with great skill came great responsibility. They were constantly pushed to their limits, tasked with fixing the most complex and critical problems. But it was a challenge they all relished. For them, there was no greater satisfaction than taking a damaged, seemingly unfixable ship and bringing it back to life. It was in these moments, when they were able to do the impossible, that they truly felt the weight and importance of their expertise. As the reputation of human repair stations grew, so did the variety of alien visitors that sought out their services. Ships of all sizes and configurations, from sleek personal crafts to massive cargo freighters, could be seen docked at the station's ports. The aliens themselves were just as diverse, hailing from every corner of the known galaxy. One of the most frequent visitors to the human repair stations were the Zorgans, a race of tall, slender beings known for their advanced stealth technology. The Zorgans were fiercely protective of their ships, which were equipped with sophisticated cloaking devices that allowed them to move through space undetected. Despite their advanced technology, the Zorgans often found themselves in need of repairs. Their cloaking devices were notoriously finicky, requiring constant maintenance and fine-tuning. They had initially been hesitant to trust the human mechanics with their ships, fearing that they would steal or replicate their technology. However, after seeing the results of the humans' work firsthand, the Zorgans became some of the station's most loyal customers. They were impressed not only by the skill of the mechanics, but also by their discretion and respect for the aliens' technology. Another regular at the human repair stations were the Klaxons, a race of short, stocky aliens known for their boisterous personalities and love of all things mechanical. The Klaxon ships were a reflection of their personality: loud, flashy, and always on the verge of falling apart. The Klaxons loved nothing more than to regale the human mechanics with tales of their adventures while their ships were being repaired. They would often invite the mechanics to join them for a drink at the station's bar after work, an offer that many found hard to refuse. But not all of the alien visitors were as friendly or appreciative as the Zorgans and Klaxons. The Vrix, a race of insectoid aliens, were known for their haughty demeanor and disdain for other species. They saw the need for repairs as a sign of weakness and would often berate the human mechanics for their perceived shortcomings. Despite this, the human mechanics always treated the Vrix with the same level of professionalism and respect as any other customer. They understood that their job was to fix ships, not to judge the beings who flew them. The mechanics were constantly amazed by the technology they encountered on these alien ships. From quantum engines that could propel a ship faster than the speed of light to self-repairing hulls that could mend themselves after a battle, the alien ships were a testament to the incredible diversity of technology in the galaxy. But no matter how advanced or alien the technology was, the human mechanics always found a way to fix it. They would pore over schematics, consult with alien engineers, and even invent new tools and techniques on the fly to get the job done. Their skill and adaptability did not go unnoticed by the alien visitors. Many would leave the repair stations with a newfound respect for human ingenuity. Some would even offer the mechanics jobs on their homeworlds or aboard their ships, recognizing the value of having such skilled individuals on their team. But for most of the mechanics, the human repair stations were more than just a job. They were a calling, a place where they could push the boundaries of what was possible with machinery. They relished the challenge of fixing ships that others had deemed unfixable, of learning about new technologies and cultures from across the galaxy. In many ways, the human repair stations had become a microcosm of the galaxy itself, a place where different species and cultures could come together, united by a common need and respect for the skilled work of the human mechanics. As the alien ships continued to flock to the stations, the human mechanics knew that they were not just fixing machines, they were building bridges between worlds. And that, more than anything else, was what made their work truly worthwhile. It was a day like any other at the human repair station when a distress signal came in from an alien ship. The vessel, a massive freighter belonging to the Zorgans, had suffered a catastrophic engine failure and was drifting helplessly in space. The station's mechanics sprang into action, preparing to receive the stricken ship. They knew that time was of the essence. If they didn't act quickly, the ship and its crew could be lost forever. As the Zorgan freighter limped into the station's docking bay, the mechanics could immediately see the extent of the damage. The ship's hull was scorched and battered, and one of its engines was completely destroyed. It was clear that this would be no ordinary repair job. The lead mechanic on the job was none other than Lena, the prodigy who had made a name for herself as one of the best in the business. She and her team quickly got to work, assessing the damage and formulating a plan of action. The first challenge they faced was the ship's advanced stealth technology. The Zorgans were understandably reluctant to allow anyone access to their cloaking devices, even the trusted human mechanics. Lena had to navigate a delicate diplomatic dance, assuring the Zorgans that her team would respect their technology, while also stressing the importance of a thorough repair job. After much negotiation, the Zorgans finally agreed to let Lena's team work on the cloaking devices. It was a tense moment as the mechanics carefully removed the devices, knowing that one wrong move could cause irreparable damage. With the cloaking devices safely removed, Lena and her team could focus on the main problem: the destroyed engine. The damage was extensive, and it quickly became clear that a simple patch job wouldn't suffice. They would need to completely rebuild the engine from scratch. It was a daunting task, even for the skilled mechanics. They worked around the clock, barely stopping to eat or sleep. They combed through the station's spare parts inventory, looking for components that could be adapted to work with the Zorgan technology. There were moments when it seemed like the job was impossible, when even Lena's confidence wavered. But she and her team persevered, driven by a determination to prove that no job was too big for the human repair station. As the days turned into weeks, the mechanics made steady progress. They fabricated new parts, rewired circuits, and reprogrammed software. Slowly but surely, the new engine started to take shape. The Zorgans, who had been watching the repair process with a mix of anxiety and awe, started to become more involved. They offered their own expertise and resources, working side by side with the human mechanics. What had started as a tense working relationship evolved into one of mutual respect and collaboration. Finally, after countless hours of hard work, the new engine was ready for testing. The entire station held its breath as Lena and her team fired up the engine for the first time. For a moment, there was nothing but the hum of machinery, and then the engine roared to life, stronger and more powerful than ever before. The Zorgans were ecstatic, praising the skill and dedication of the human mechanics. They knew that without Lena and her team, their ship and crew would have been lost. But for Lena and the other mechanics, it was just another day's work. They had faced a seemingly impossible challenge and had emerged victorious. It was a testament to their skill, their determination, and their unmatched expertise. As the Zorgan freighter prepared to leave the station, its crew had a newfound respect for the human mechanics. They knew that they had witnessed something special, not just a repair job, but a feat of engineering brilliance. And as the ship disappeared into the vastness of space, the mechanics of the human repair station were already preparing for their next challenge, ready to once again prove their worth in the eyes of the galaxy. As the human mechanics worked tirelessly on the Zorgan freighter, they encountered a series of challenges that tested their skills and ingenuity. The damaged engine was unlike anything they had seen before, with intricate systems and components that seemed almost alien in their design. Lena and her team pored over the ship's schematics, trying to make sense of the complex machinery. They consulted with the Zorgan engineers, who provided valuable insights into the workings of their technology. It was during one of these consultations that a young Zorgan engineer named Zorax made a startling discovery. As he was explaining the intricacies of the ship's quantum flux capacitor to Lena, he noticed an anomaly in the readings. At first, Zorax dismissed it as a glitch in the system. But as he delved deeper, he realized that the anomaly was not a malfunction, but rather an intentional feature of the design. It was a fail-safe mechanism designed to protect the ship's most critical systems in the event of a catastrophic failure. Zorax quickly shared his findings with Lena and the other mechanics. They were stunned by the implications of this discovery. If they could harness this fail-safe mechanism, they could potentially create a new system that would make the ship virtually indestructible. The mechanics set to work, studying the fail-safe mechanism and trying to replicate its effects. It was a painstaking process, requiring countless hours of experimentation and trial and error. But Lena and her team were determined to succeed. They worked day and night, fueled by a desire to push the boundaries of what was possible. As they worked, word of their efforts spread throughout the station. Other mechanics and engineers came to observe their progress, marveling at the ingenuity and skill on display. Even the Zorgans, who were normally fiercely protective of their technology, were impressed by the humans' efforts. They offered their own expertise and resources, working alongside the mechanics to bring the new system to fruition. Finally, after weeks of intense work, the new system was ready for testing. The entire station held its breath as Lena and Zorax initiated the first trial run. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The ship's systems hummed along as usual, showing no signs of the revolutionary new technology at work. But then, something incredible happened. The ship's sensors detected a massive energy surge, the kind that would normally spell certain doom for any vessel. But instead of succumbing to the surge, the ship's new fail-safe mechanism kicked in, absorbing the energy and redirecting it back into the ship's systems. The results were astounding. Not only had the ship survived the energy surge, but it had actually been strengthened by it. The new system had worked better than anyone could have imagined. The Zorgans were beside themselves with joy. They knew that this new technology would revolutionize space travel, making their ships safer and more reliable than ever before. But for the human mechanics, the real victory was in the collaboration and teamwork that had made it all possible. They had worked side by side with the Zorgans, learning from each other and pushing each other to new heights. As news of the breakthrough spread throughout the galaxy, the reputation of the human repair stations only grew. They were no longer just places to fix broken ships. They were hubs of innovation and discovery, where the impossible became possible. The mechanics themselves became legends, their names spoken with reverence by aliens and humans alike. They had proven that when faced with a challenge, no matter how daunting, the unmatched expertise of human mechanics would always find a way. And as Lena and her team watched the Zorgan freighter depart the station, equipped with its revolutionary new failsafe system, they knew that they had been a part of something truly special, a moment that would change the course of galactic history forever. As the reputation of the human repair stations grew, so did the demand for their services. Ships from all corners of the galaxy flocked to the stations, each with their own unique problems and challenges. To meet this demand, new repair stations began to spring up across human space. These stations were modeled after the original, with teams of highly skilled mechanics ready to tackle any job that came their way. One such station was located on the edge of the Orion Nebula, a vast expanse of gas and dust that was home to some of the most beautiful and dangerous space phenomena in the galaxy. The station, known as Orion's Forge, quickly gained a reputation as one of the best in the business. The mechanics at Orion's Forge were a diverse group, hailing from all walks of life and all corners of human space. There was Jax, a former military engineer who had a knack for fixing the most stubborn of engine problems. There was Mara, a brilliant programmer who could coax even the most temperamental of AI systems back to life. And there was Zek, a master fabricator who could create spare parts out of seemingly nothing. Together, these mechanics formed a formidable team, capable of taking on any challenge that the galaxy could throw at them. They worked tirelessly, often putting in long hours and braving dangerous conditions to get the job done. But despite their skill and dedication, the mechanics at Orion's Forge knew that they were part of something larger. They were part of a network of repair stations that stretched across the galaxy, each one playing a vital role in keeping the ships and crews of the galaxy safe. The stations often collaborated with each other, sharing knowledge and resources to tackle the most complex and challenging repairs. If one station encountered a particularly stubborn problem, they would reach out to the others for help and advice. This spirit of cooperation and collaboration was not limited to the human repair stations. As word of their expertise spread, alien civilizations began to seek out their services as well. At first, some of the alien visitors were hesitant to trust the human mechanics with their ships. They had heard stories of the humans' skill and ingenuity, but they were also wary of the potential for espionage or sabotage. But as the mechanics at Orion's Forge and other stations began to work on alien ships, they quickly earned the trust and respect of their clients. They treated each ship with the same level of care and attention, regardless of its origin or ownership. The mechanics also made a point of learning about the cultures and technologies of the alien civilizations they served. They studied alien languages and customs, and they worked closely with alien engineers to understand the unique quirks and features of their ships. Over time, the human repair stations became more than just places to fix ships. They became hubs of cultural exchange and technological cross-pollination. Alien civilizations would send their best and brightest to the stations to learn from the human mechanics, while the mechanics themselves would travel to alien worlds to share their knowledge and expertise. This exchange of ideas and technologies had far-reaching consequences. It led to breakthroughs in fields ranging from propulsion to life support systems. It also fostered a sense of unity and cooperation among the diverse species of the galaxy. The mechanics at Orion's Forge and other stations knew that they were part of something special. They were not just fixing ships. They were building bridges between worlds and cultures. And as they watched the alien ships come and go, each one bearing the marks of their skill and dedication, they knew that they were making a difference. They were proving that no matter how vast and complex the galaxy might be, there was always a place for the unmatched expertise of human mechanics. As the human repair stations continued to thrive, they soon faced their greatest challenge yet: a massive alien ship belonging to a species known as the Cortax arrived at Orion's forge in dire need of repairs. The ship was unlike anything the mechanics had ever seen before, with technology that seemed to defy the very laws of physics. The Cortax were a secretive species, known for their advanced scientific knowledge and their reluctance to share it with others. They had never before sought the help of the human repair stations, and their arrival at Orion's forge was met with a mix of excitement and trepidation. As the mechanics began to assess the damage to the Cortax ship, they quickly realized that they were in over their heads. The ship's systems were so complex and alien that even the most experienced among them were at a loss. Desperate for help, the mechanics at Orion's forge reached out to their colleagues at other stations. They sent out a galaxy-wide call for assistance, hoping that someone, somewhere, would have the knowledge and expertise needed to tackle this monumental task. The response was overwhelming. Mechanics from across the galaxy volunteered their services, eager to take on the challenge of repairing the Cortax ship. They came from all corners of human space and beyond, each bringing their own unique skills and perspectives to the table. Among them was Lena, the legendary mechanic who had made a name for herself at the original human repair station. She had heard about the Cortax ship and had immediately set out for Orion's forge, knowing that her expertise would be needed. As the mechanics gathered at the station, they began to pool their knowledge and resources. They worked around the clock, poring over the ship's schematics and consulting with the Cortax engineers. It was a tense and stressful time, with tempers flaring and egos clashing. But through it all, the mechanics remained focused on their goal. They knew that the fate of the Cortax ship, and perhaps even the fate of the galaxy, rested on their shoulders. As the days turned into weeks, the mechanics made slow but steady progress. They reverse-engineered the ship's systems, learning as they went and adapting their techniques to the unique challenges posed by the Cortax technology. There were setbacks and failures along the way, moments when it seemed like the task was simply too great. But the mechanics refused to give up. They pushed themselves to the brink of exhaustion, fueled by a determination to see the job through to the end. Finally, after weeks of grueling work, the Cortax ship was ready for its first test flight. The mechanics watched with bated breath as the ship lifted off from the station's docking bay, its engines roaring to life. For a moment, it seemed as if the ship would simply disappear into the vastness of space, leaving the mechanics to wonder if their efforts had been in vain. But then, the ship's comm system crackled to life, and the voice of the Cortax captain filled the station. "We cannot thank you enough," the captain said, his voice filled with emotion. "You have done the impossible, and you have earned our eternal gratitude." As the Cortax ship disappeared into the depths of space, the mechanics at Orion's forge and beyond knew that they had been a part of something truly special. They had come together across the vastness of space and the boundaries of species to achieve something that had once seemed impossible. And as they celebrated their triumph, they knew that they had proven once again the unmatched expertise of human mechanics. They had shown that no matter how great the challenge, no matter how alien the technology, there was always a way forward. It was a moment that would go down in galactic history, a testament to the skill, determination, and unbreakable spirit of the human repair stations and the mechanics who made them possible. As the news of the successful repair of the Cortax ship spread throughout the galaxy, the human repair stations found themselves at the center of a new era of galactic cooperation. Alien civilizations that had once been wary of the humans now sought out their expertise, eager to learn from their methods and share their own knowledge in return. The stations became hubs of innovation and discovery, where mechanics and engineers from across the galaxy came together to push the boundaries of what was possible. They worked on projects that ranged from the mundane to the extraordinary, from simple engine repairs to the development of new propulsion systems that could cross the vastness of space in the blink of an eye. At the heart of this new era of cooperation were the mechanics themselves. They had always been the unsung heroes of the galaxy, the ones who toiled behind the scenes to keep the ships and crews of the galaxy safe. But now, they were being recognized for their true value. Governments and corporations alike sought out their services, offering them lucrative contracts and prestigious positions. Some mechanics chose to stay at the repair stations, dedicating themselves to the work that had always been their passion. Others ventured out into the galaxy, taking on new challenges and exploring new frontiers. But no matter where they went or what they did, the mechanics never forgot the lessons they had learned at the human repair stations. They carried with them the values of hard work, determination, and collaboration that had made the stations such a success. As the years passed, the human repair stations continued to thrive. They expanded their facilities, taking on ever larger and more complex projects. They formed partnerships with alien civilizations, working together to solve the greatest challenges facing the galaxy. And at the center of it all were the mechanics, the unsung heroes who had made it all possible. They had proven that no matter how vast and complex the galaxy might be, there was always a place for those who were willing to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty. As one of the mechanics put it, we may not be the ones who get all the glory, but we're the ones who keep the galaxy running. And that's something to be proud of. Years later, the human repair stations would be remembered as one of the great turning points in galactic history. They had shown that even in a universe filled with countless species and civilizations, there was always room for cooperation and collaboration. And they had proven, once and for all, the unmatched expertise of human mechanics. It was a legacy that would endure long after the last ship had been repaired and the last engine had been tuned. For the mechanics themselves, it was a legacy that they would carry with them always. They had been a part of something greater than themselves, something that had changed the course of the galaxy forever. And as they looked out at the stars, they knew that no matter what challenges the future might bring, they would always be ready to meet them head-on. For they were the mechanics of the human repair stations, and their expertise was unmatched in all the galaxy. The end.